just as we're getting into game, big thanks on every hand for the resub. Much love, Black Label, as well as Rubby J, which I don't know why. Rubby J sounds super dirty to me. I don't even know what it could possibly mean, yet I think it is meaning something disgusting. Let me know if I'm on the money with that, Rubby J. Sounds a bit dirty.
I feel like if it was Rubby J.O., I'd be more concerned, but I don't think that's the case. So it's just Rubby J. I think it might just be his name.
Could be.
You know.
Robbie, what you doing?
What you doing, mate? Well, you know what we're doing? We're doing another TVZ on this map, and I mean, it looks like it's going to be a proxy hatchery from our Zerg, but let's introduce our player. The far right, this is Team Liquid's uThermal.
My man. Up here in the top left, representing Raise Your Edge Gaming, it's Bly on Fire.
And he does represent the edge. This guy lives on it.
Oh, my lovely Zergy lumps. Building in your third base, shaking that Zerg hatchery. I'm going to make some ravages again and again.
Now, Pig, what's that daily again?
Daily 100 and... I always just make the number up because I can't remember. Like 52?
daily 42069.
So, yeah, guys, for those who don't know, I used to do a series called The Pig Daily. It was totally original and not copied off anyone else who is a legend of the esports scene.
I can't think of anyone else that had a daily in StarCraft 2.
Yeah, it was pretty original. But basically, One Base Ravager was a thing for a while. Pig Daily, One Base Ravager. Yes, I'm Googling myself right now. It is daily number 126. And daily number 127 was telling you how to defend it. And this is because we saw Sue do it like 12 times over 14 games in GSL and ZVT. Yep. Sue's the guy who likes punching his opponent in the face. That's the same guy who won like 80% of his Zerg versus Zergs 2016 through 2019 with a 13-12 every game. Like, everyone was like, 13-12 doesn't work anymore. And Sue was like, I win every game with it. Every game is one base Ling Bane. And every other Zerg was like, well, I better go hatch first. Oh, I died to Sue again. And I was like, do you guys, maybe want to start thinking about what you're doing? No? All right.
Speaking of thinking about what you're doing, the Reaper of uThermal was rallied across the map. Then he went to the south and went, oh, there's a hatchery here.
Whoa, bunker up front?
Yeah. He's going to try, but I think it's a little bit too late for that.
No way, that's crazy. I mean, I think it's not the worst if you get a backup bunker on the high ground, which he's doing, because you can try to kind of tax them at the front a little, and he really wants to let the CC finish, I guess is the idea, but it's not going to be ready in time. I don't think. There's a couple seconds. This all rests on a couple of seconds. Sorry, guys.
Scout in the main base.
I'm like trying to get my audio working. I was like, why is everything so silent? Oh, the bunker doesn't finish!
Reap! The natural's not going to finish either. The SCV's getting pulled along with some workers. And if you get these SCVs in range of that command center and in range of that bunker, finishing both these structures is really important here.
Oh, the Marines are getting focus fired. Oh, man, this is a disaster. I mean, the Ravagers just heal. Doing damage to roaches is worth nothing.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. uThermal thankfully got another bunker up in the main base, so the one in the natural isn't as important, and he's just going to leave that command center there finished, which is an edge for the Terran, but he has to get that factory tech lab unit out as quickly as possible. Yeah. And Bly is prioritizing getting down that depot, bringing down that static defense of the Terran next on the menu.
I mean, he's hitting the barracks right now, but it is still going to be 3 Marines and a Reaper getting out before this barracks goes down. He's going to go for it now. He's diving into that main base. Okay, that Cyclone's almost out right now, so it's all going to be about that Cyclone, the Marines, and the SCVs up against these Roaches and Ravagers. He's in the mineral line. Lots of SCVs starting to go down. Ooh, he's got a Bile going down, trying to intercept them. Good Cyclone micro. The Ravagers fall very quickly here. Nice micro from uThermal so far.
Bly, the absolute psychopath, diving into the main base of the Terran here, losing a couple
of... the Marines can't get back in the bunker.
He's got one Marine here that can make it in the bunker.
Oh, but look at this. He can heal these up. They're all going to turn into Ravagers. That Cyclone's in trouble. So now with more Roaches rallying in, these ones about to turn in, and no Marine in the bunker. Oh, second Cyclone's going to pop, but I don't think it's enough. He can't repair. He's got no SCVs.
And Bly is just holding that R button. Now, uThermal, if he doesn't lose too many more SCVs, actually can hold on here. It looks really rough for the Terran, but of course, keep in mind that Bly only has 16 workers and 1 base back at home. The other one really can't be mined from. That Cyclone at the top right gets picked off. It gets zoned back.
Ooh, I mean, these SCVs, everyone that falls is sacred right now, and there's more Roaches coming in, which is the problem. I don't think this Cyclone can possibly keep up.
That's it.
So once...
so close, but no cigar there for uThermal.
All right, so we're going to spam that link in chat for that daily... For those of you guys who are like, oh, this is unfair. Cancel the command center is like, you're so far ahead. Now, because it's this proxy hatch version, There's a couple more SC drones with it. I'm okay with you trying to keep that CC alive, but that bunker needs to start like so quickly on the low ground if you want to defend it. And you can't lose Marines on the low ground like that. Like if that bunker doesn't get up, oh shit, man. I don't know. So I think you're actually way better off just canceling the CC, getting a bunker in the high ground, rebuild the CC up on the high ground, man, and try to defend there. The Cyclones were the right choice. He did great micro on the high ground. It's just he already lost like what, 6 SCVs and like 3 Marines on the low ground, was it? At least 2. At least 2 went down on the low ground, and that was for no damage. And the Reaper did force a Roach built at home, right? So I can get behind the Reaper going across the map. I think that was a cool uThermal move. Kills 2 drones, forces a Roach to build, and then rejoins the defense. But yeah, I don't think the bunker on the low ground was the right call for sure. GG's.
And someone in chat's messaging, I don't know how every Terran player is always caught off guard against Bly. I think that's Bly's special black magic. He has some kind of dark.
Yeah.
You know the old magic in the Way of Kings?
Yes.
I think he's one of those guys that went and saw the Night Watcher and got himself some of those. Got himself a boon and an unknown curse.
Yeah, man. He's got some special power. I mean, honestly, I can't. I'm going to Twitter right now. They're taking a while to start this game. You're in the lobby, right?
Yep.
Good. I got the win rate of 2 racks in tournaments. Because I really just need to revive that meme with the win rate of proxy hatchery with Bly in tournaments is actually just stupid at this point. So, yeah.
Yeah, the Ravager morphing or the Roach morphing into a Ravager getting full hit points is a pretty consistent thing for Zerg. The Overseer gets that as well, like a Hurt Overlord can become a full hit point Overseer.
Zergling, Baneling.
Hurt Zergling can become a full hit point Baneling, exactly, yeah.
I would be totally fine with it not having 5 armor while it's morphing, though. I think that's kind of bullshit.
That is pretty wild.
I'm like, I'm immune to damage from all early game units. You're like, why?
Like if that, I mean, it's because they just want, like, I think Blizzard just wants the Zerg egg to have that consistency, that armor. You know, like if you have a lava turning into a unit, it has that armor. I think Lurkers also, when they're getting turned, like Hydra's getting turned into Lurkers, also have that cocoon that has a lot of armor on it. I don't know. This is a consistent lore thing that they want, but I'm down with those eggs being weaker. That's for damn sure as a Terran player myself. All right. In the top left here from Team Liquid, currently down the series, looking to tie it up, it is uThermal.
And his opponent, ready to raise not only his own edge, but all of the Zerg cheesy fans out there edges as well. In the blue, it's Bly.
Now, Bly is going for a third base location natural without having scouted the Terran whatsoever. He's just like, I want to get inside uThermal's head.
Well, this is cool because it's like the SCV is going to come and he's going to be like, oh shit, and he's hoping uThermal will like CC on the high ground or cancel the CC or like panic and stuff. And I would imagine completely normal macro build until he decides to do a Roach push. Like the standard Ravagerling push, same thing he did on, I think it was like Nightshade versus Vindicta. You know, this is exactly what I expect. And if uThermal panics and freaks out, it could totally work. Now, one of the things we've consistently seen from Terrans in 2020 is after being cheesed, rather than then playing with an earlier SCV scout, a harder reaction, or panicking and being careful, we see them often repeat the exact same opening that just died, sometimes to Bly doing the exact same proxy hatch Ravager and beating them with it again. So when you go for the fake out builds, I feel like 2020 Terrans like just don't even react to things sometimes. And they're just like, no, I'll just like micro my Marine slightly better. Seems to be like most Terran reactions, right? So let's see how uThermal reacts to this. I'm going to Thermy's camera.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, he is going to go look for the third.
Yeah, zero response. He just goes to the third. He's like, I know your tricks. No.
Yep.
Normal game. It's fine. So a good response here from Thermy. Really fast Roach Warren from Bly.
Damn.
Very fast.
And this is one of those double takes, right? Where you're like, oh, there's Bly's trying to force me into a regular game, but it's like not a regular game.
Yeah. It's like it's a regular game for the next minute, you know? It's like there is a window of safety here. You have gone proxy hatch. I am safe for now. You know, you've got to be very, very careful about the potential expiry date. 4 Lings going across the map to backstab, of course. SCV's coming into the main. It's going to see it. Yeah, great scout from uThermy. Look at the drones. The drone's like, oh, we're transferring, but don't.
This is an economic build. Womp, womp.
To be fair, knowing Bly, you know he's just not going to build roaches now,
You
right?
just build drones now, yep.
Or, double mind game, roaches anyway.
And that's kind of the hard thing when you're up against Zerg, right? One of the really weird, cheesy Zergs is as long as they have that tech structure, you need to always be ready for that unit to just appear at any point. But at the same time, if you don't have, like, if they just drone, then that's a completely different response. You have to be aggressive. So it's like, you know, you have to make the right choice. And as Terran, you're kind of playing a guessing game right now.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like, you know, I'm playing poker here, but there has been 0 cards on the flop. We are literally just in that part where we're just holding our 2 cards and just looking at each other in the eye.
Well, look at this. The roaches want to just be like, haha, I am coming for my push. Now, he really wants uThermal to build more bunkers, pull SCVs to the low ground to repair. Right now, we see some, like, yeah, uThermal's got the Cyclone, and that's the kind of the problem for Bly. He can't really fake this out anymore, because uThermal's like, I don't think there's going to be, you know, like, it's like a little dangerous moving out there, right? What if, like, Ling Speed came in and wrapped around? But he scans the third, he sees the drones to confirm, and he's like, nah, we cool, we chill, bud. I would love to see a starport, though. If we could start getting some drops or libs and stuff going, that'd be amazing. Right now, uThermal has been non-stop SCVs, super fast third command center, insane economy for uThermal in this game.
This is a really good game for the Terran so far. As much as we were like talking about how frustrating it can be to like you know, players that can just play tech shift whack-a-mole. uThermal's done all the right calls so far, and he's found himself in a really, really nice spot. That third can float out soon, and there's not a whole lot Bly can do about it. Oh, using that high ground very nicely, DPSing down that Cyclone, but it flies on past the Zerg army. This is a very expensive scout from uThermal, but it does get into the main, sees the lair, and sees that the natural is on the way as well for Bly. So he knows that Bly is just trying to get an economy up at the moment.
My favorite in this sort of game is, obviously, Thermy couldn't do it because he went 3rd CC, right? Before Starport, delayed Starport build. But if you go a normal 1-1-1 and you're in this position, you get the fast Cyclone. I love having like a medevac with 4 Marines and a Cyclone just fly around the map. Look at all these Overlords. See all the Overlords Bly has on the map? Imagine if you had a medevac just going around with a Cyclone, just locking on with the 4 Marines.
Yeah, right.
Kill, 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 kill. You just put the Zerg's vision into the Stone Age. It's such a sick reaction.
And Bly's pooping on the edge of his main here with an Overlord to try and get himself a Nidus network very deliberately outside of where it would be scanned if Terran just scanned right on that main hatchery.
Do you see the Scorpion in the building? And do you think it's like dancing in the rain kind of thing? It's like singing. It's like doing shower singing right now.
Yeah. I'm singing in the building.
This is going to be a scary attack, man. We've got 1 tank, 17 Marines. Stim is going to just kick in 15 seconds, so it will be ready. Stim's going to finish as the Nidus pops.
Thermy sees this Nidus, but there's a big roach attack on the ground as well, so he has to kind of decide where he wants to put his defenses. Going to lift up that main. I think that's a good call. The Nidus in the main
more
is
bunkers. More bunkers. In the main, in the natural, more bunkers, dude. That tank's got a siege on the low ground, I believe, here. Gonna go to the high ground with the tank. Oh, it's a little exposed.
Enough bio down here to fight the roaches, I feel.
On its own, but the tank in the main is exposed if those roaches dive on it, but they haven't taken that opportunity yet. uThermal is managing this so well right now. Another Nidus behind the mineral line. The tank and the Marines in the main base looking to jump forward. The bunker at the natural holding on against a far superior force of roaches. I mean, uThermal is undefended on the natural right now, but he's smashing the main base.
Yeah, the main base is getting cleaned up for sure. Bly sending in more roaches to their death. The natural gets cracked there, finally gets that bunker. Loses a few of those roaches on the low ground, which Bly can turn into Ravagers in a second here. He doesn't actually have the resources for it, so never mind. Nidus Worm being put up in the natural. Bly is just trying to get uThermal killed right here.
20 seconds off, 1-1 kicking in here for uThermal. He's trying to hang on. Second tank is up. That creates a safety zone, so there's no more dying. I don't think that's an opportunity. Tunneling Claws and Burrow on the way. Bly still popping out roaches in the main. Roaches in the natural. He's looking for more snipes. He knows his opponent's on 1 base against his 2 base economy right now.
uThermal's tank was attacking his own refinery for a second there.
Oh!
It's going to go down, so it missed a shot or 2 on the roaches, I believe, but the Marines trying to catch those roaches, not letting them get back to the
Oh! No combat shield, so the roaches start to do okay on the right, but there's just too much firepower. uThermal's Marines gathering together with that 1-1 upgrade. Oof. Juicy Lucy.
And gets the Overlord and the Nidus Worm, and with that, the creep will recede. There's no vision in the main for Bly anymore. So uThermal He did lose a lot of workers, but keep in mind that his upgrades are pretty good. He's got triple CC, still alive.
Well, man, right now, Bly is wearing a baseball cap inside the restaurant. A lot of people look at him and they go, why is he doing that? What they don't realize, he has the receding creep line of a middle-aged man who cannot come to grips with it right now. There is no creep anywhere on this map. He has that like thin ring around the edge of his head, the George Costanza. Just shave that thing, buddy. Like there's no way he's getting into a macro game with this creep spread.
The uThermal is one of those guys in the restaurant. He's Tony Soprano walking up to the guy with the cap and ripping that hat off and saying, "This is a family establishment and a fine dining restaurant. Take that fucking hat off."
Indeed, thermy here looking to put the power on. He smacks the Nidus in the main of the tank. The Marines stimming out and just fighting here. They're like, "Bring it on, dude. I'm happy to take these trades. I can dance all day."
He does kill a few roaches there coming out the butthole of the Nidus Worm as the head was denied by that one tank in the main base. It's still kind of ruling the roost. Another Nidus Worm for Bly coming outside the natural here of uThermal. Once again, there is no bunker, but what's better than that is that he actually has 2 tanks holding onto that natural. One Marine,
yeah,
the back.
Third CC in front of it as well, the thickest of walls, you know. This natural could have its own Instagram page with 3 million followers. It's got that much of a thick CC there. You know, there's no way you're getting through that.
I mean, if this natural had tattooed sleeves, it'd probably be the biggest thing on the internet right now. Oh, Drop's not getting anything done at third. Bly's made a lot of roach supply, and he's just happy to chill on this, on like 43 drones at the moment, because he's all about making units. I mean, thermal supply block actually quite brutal in 85 here.
These are 0-0 roaches, so every minute that goes by, this gets worse for uThermal. Big tank
It gets
shots.
worse?
Yeah, the upgrades, like every second that goes by, when 2-2 kicks in, each Marine can like bench a roach on each hand. It's actually insane how big those upgrades are. But Bly's still digging. He's still way up in supply. Ah!
Yeah, the Roach Burrow strat's trying to actually friendly fire down those SCVs, but he only gets a couple and he loses 4 roaches there.
Remember that
remember
the game heart doesn't always show all those, by the way, I believe. So in future, if there's a big one, it might only show the actual. Actually, does it? Did they fix it so it shows the friendly fire kills as well? I think they might have patched that in, because I know in the past they didn't. People be like, "Oh no, that only killed 3," and you're like, "No, that tank shot killed another 8 on top of that." Like there's actually a lot more than shows up. So just be wary of that pop up. I'll try to check the work account anytime he does that in future, before and after.
Bly's realized that this game is not going to end with the Roach Nidus thing. He can't kill uThermal with Roach Nidus right now. So he started a big round of drones. He's dropping his double Evo chambers, but he's going to be playing catch up as far as that's concerned. Another Nidus Worm in the main base, right next to the main base of uThermal. He sees it, stims in those Marines. They got 1-1 upgrades. That Nidus isn't happening.
Ooh, Marines dropping in the back. The natural, the main base medevac does get out of there. Overlord's going down as well. I mean, these Ravagers being such a dick at the front, but I love the way uThermal's just splitting off minimal numbers of units to continue pressure. This is so hard for Bly to deal with, because he's trying to basically Nidus Worm and use a small squad of Roach Ravager to pick away at uThermal. uThermal says, you know what, if you're doing that on your shitty small economy with your shitty tech, you can't stop my drops from floating around, picking off bits of damage, forcing lost mining time. And I like the Infestation Pit follow-up here from Bly. I think that's a really good choice. I think just 2 or 3 Infestors is so good with Roach Ravager for catching lots of bio. Oh, man!
Who? Dropping Marines on top of that Roach Ravager retreating force there. uThermal taking a big technology lead in his army as he's got 2-2 upgrades. He's got a lot of bio, and now he's bringing in a tank for the fight as he's trying to replace that third, but the Nidus Worm is blocking it. This army is rough, man. How does Bly hold on to this?
Bly's not going to pop out on the front. I thought he was going to there. He's just going to try to defend 1 tank and a butt ton of Marines. Most of the tanks are defending at home. uThermal realizes as long as he's safe at home, his Marines can just take a trade here. The 2-2 upgrades are insane. It just pushes them right in the face of Bly. 1-1 upgrades. No time to finish, man.
These upgrades are absolutely nuts. You look at that Marine count, you're like, oh, Roach Ravager holds this, right? Nope. GG. Those are some strong Marines right there. And uThermal ties it up 1 apiece.
Yeah, man. I just saw a montage of those Marines, you know, they were just going through, just like, the tanks will cover us, and we just got to keep benching. Eventually, we will get to 2-2. And then you just saw them run out and kick the shit out of those roaches.
We didn't zoom in on it, but every single Marine inside of their battle suit has, like, a sweatband on their head and on each wrist. Inside of their helmet is that Push It to the Limit 80s montage song.
Push it to the limit.
Push it to the limit. That song's playing inside their helmets.
Dude, that was a good comeback there for uThermy. I'm sure there were people who were worried when he was down on supply, but I think the most important thing that uThermal did so well there is he created the safe zone around the production. You only really need to protect one mineral line and just keep increasing your unit count. And once he got tank siege behind the barracks and the main base command center, he created this, like, you can't come into this zone. Yeah, roaches can run around behind the main and force my SCVs to pull back. Yeah, you can kill the SCVs on the natural and force it to lift temporarily. But as long as I keep building more tanks and marines, I will steadily be able to get on top of this. And I think hats off to uThermal for really playing with fire at the start of that. He left his first tank alone in the main base, scared the roaches off the natural, then pulled back in the main. Bly didn't realize quick enough. If he just jumped back out at the front and jumped on that bunker, he could have just like overwhelmed the natural a bit quicker. But uThermal was able to like kind of fight where the Marines were and scare Bly away from like, I got 4 Marines in a bunker, watch out. So Bly did miss out on 1 or 2 small opportunities at the beginning of the Nidus Worm, and uThermal just kind of bought time for that Marine tank count to grow, managed to smash it.
And now we got ourselves a elimination map for both players. The winner of this series, or winner of this map even, if you want to make it even more dramatic, which I do, because that's my job, will be facing Clem in the next series for the semis. And the winner of that series is guaranteed Pro Tour points. Potentially 10 points with $100 in the back pocket. In the top left here, winning game number 2 with a great comeback there after the Nidus shenaniganry. It is Team Liquid's uThermal.
He's in the right, Maynard. Don't do a pig. I always say the wrong corner. You said top left.
Ah, I did a pig. Fuck.
Down here in the bottom left.
And the bottom right.
In the bottom right of the map, sporting as Protoss. It's Raise Your Edges Blighs on Fires.
It's Raise Your Edges Blighs on Fires. That's right.
I actually get so triggered when people say plurals for things that aren't. Like, there are certain things where, like, McDonald's is normal, right? You know, you say with the S because McDonald's owns the place. But if someone says KFCs, I feel like the blood vessel in my head wants to burst. Someone says Oportos, one of my good friends.
Oh my God.
Does this on purpose now because he knows it triggers me. He's like, do you want to get some Oportos? I'm like, shut the fuck up. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't ruin my beautiful grilled chicken pineapple burger that I'm about to have.
I don't eat the one with pineapple. Screw burgers with pineapple on them. It's unnecessary.
Oh my God. How do I hang up this call?
Okay. If I'm having like an old school, you're talking like an old school milk bar works burger with like an egg, beetroot,
man.
pineapple. That's the
burger's fantastic.
That's the one time. Not a fast food burger. I'm not big on KFC pineapple. I'm not big on Oporto pineapple. A classic Aussie milk bar burger. That's the one exception where I do love a bit of pineapple on that. I'm okay with that.
Shit. Okay. Friendship recovered. Damn, dude.
And that's like the classic. That's like the childhood burger, man. Like I haven't actually had one of those in
I grew up on that shit
in quite a while. But
the beetroot onion.
Beetroot onion. You got a fried egg wrapped on there
God.
with
Yes,
tomato sauce and barbecue, please.
One of those burgers that you can barely bite into because it's too stacked.
Oh yeah, it's got to be dripping down your wrists and into like the paper bag and everything. Yeah,
you're gonna be covered in beetroot sauce, so it looks like your wrists are being cut.
Yep.
You know.
All
sorts of goodness.
It's kind of funny. Like I always thought, I was like, who in the world actually eats beetroot other than Australians on burgers? And then I went to Poland. And I found out about people who are obsessed with beetroot beyond all reason. I was like, oh my God, you guys are really into it, aren't you?
I thought that I loved beetroot and potato until I went to East Europe. And I was like, fuck, man. These people have got it down pat. They turn both those vegetables into every single dish.
Yeah, well,
it's actually really amazing.
Oh, what type of potato dumplings are we eating today? One of the 37 varieties, and I enjoy them all surprisingly.
I feel like I would actually, Kolaris is the right idea moving to Krakow. I think I'd actually be very comfortable in Poland. I think like just that kind of like rustic village food, the prevalence of just using beets and potato for absolutely everything, like sauerkraut.
They got such good stews as well. Like
and
really,
cheap
really
to live there as well. Like oh yeah, God. I would love it.
It's actually
fantastic. Like we had really good internet over there.
They have a hardcore, awesome nerd community as well. You know, like
big esports scene.
Thorin or whatever is always like, oh, it's the Intel Extreme Masters budget-saving World Championship because they're doing it in Poland still, where everyone's racist and stuff. And I'm like, I'm still bringing that up from like 7 years ago. I'm sorry, Thorin. But yeah, it's like one of those things where I'm like, dude, Poland like has actually got such a passionate community. It's like in StarCraft, we've had amazing Canadian events, amazing French events, and amazing Polish events. And those are the ones that really stand out because the communities there The StarCraft are just so passionate. Oof.
I got 2 Hellions running into that natural there, looking for that drone kill. He's actually going to get half a dozen here, I feel. Oh, and he does get 6.
Exactly.
So the Reaper went into the main base just for a little bit of a... It broke off from the pack for a little bit of a scout. Didn't really see anything. Got killed by the Queens there. But so far what we're seeing from Bly is actually quite macro-focused. Like a lot of drones.
Yeah.
No Evo chambers or anything just yet, so...
And with the fast third CC, I think 6 drone kills for 2 Hellions that early is actually like doubly sick, right? Because now your economy gets even further ahead.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I like that Terrans are doing this fast third CC. I mean, even though it's Bly, and I would be terrified to do anything greedy against him, considering the, I guess, the Hellion damage, and also he's been doing a great job with the Hellion Reaper Force. He knows he's in an all right spot right now. But Bly, once again, he's playing Catch Me If You Can.
Ah!
He's going for the Nidus Worm.
The scan!
Which gets scanned by
Oh, no! Do we see a cancel? No, he's going to keep it 100%.
All right.
Oh!
Cancel!
You see, this is why Bly is so good. I always call it wrong. I see everything, and I always call it wrong. I'm like, he's just going to cancel the roaches. He builds the roaches. He's not going to cancel. He'll keep the Nidus Worm just to threaten. Cancels it. You never know what's coming next. He's a madman.
So now uThermal's making several bunkers here for a handful of Lings as Bly starts up 10 drones. Dude. This is the most frustrating Zerg you could ever play against, is the bamboozle one. Like, Bly is, you know that, that bad magician thriller, whatever it was called, like Now You See Me or whatever it was?
Arrested Development, yeah.
There's one with like Woody Harrelson and Jesse Eisenberg and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, I haven't watched that yet. Yeah.
It's called Now You See Me. Mm-hmm. Bly's like the fucking the handsome Hispanic dude with the cards, pulling cards out of every single sleeve, and that's just tech shifting. Like he's like, it's a drone card, but I'm showing you the roaches, and he's like, what card did you pick, sir? And bam, he's like comes out of a fucking phone booth on fire, and he's completely fine. It's like really wild.
Well, a marine drop is coming in now. uThermal just poking out with minimal pressure. I like this choice. Roaches and Queens in position, though, and the creep spread's starting to spread out. He's got that Rogaine on after what looked like it was going to be a Nidus Worm Roach all in to start. He just goes full Rogaine. The creep is spreading in all directions. A little bit low on the south, but up to, 62 workers, building another 7. We are going to see a Roach Ravager versus Bio macro game, and I guess my question is, do we see 2-2 start? I think 2-2 and, like, even going further up the tech tree is on the cards, because, gas is going down. It's going to be a 6-gas play, right?
Yeah, it looks like it.
7 gas.
uThermal, speaking of 2-2, uThermal's armory a little bit late here, so he can't start his just yet.
Apologies to the few people triggered in chat that we are talking about things, not the game. It's basically the first 4 minutes of every game we cast. From there, we do talk almost exclusively about it. By the way, anyone who's hating on our Aussie burgers, wait till you've come and had like a classic Aussie burger before you hate on it.
Anyone that says that just hasn't had one.
Yeah, they're actually great. Don't hate on our childhood.
That's right.
Roaches and Ravages.
You can hate on Vegemite, but
yeah, you can hate on Vegemite. I love Vegemite, and obviously most people eat it the wrong way, and I could go on about that. But I think it's totally fine to not be down with a salty yeast extract that they scrape out of the bottom of beer vats. So.
When you put it that way, I've ingested so much of that garbage.
Me too, man.
Vegemite,
dude. Vegemite and grilled cheese is so good.
All right, this attack from Bly looks a little bit questionable. There are 3 tanks here.
He's got to pull back. He's got to pull back. Oh, that's too much.
Oh
The extra tank in the back, man, is just slaying it right now. Bly, this is not a good choice. Yeah, I mean, he went for the opportunity there, but that was too much bio. I think he was hoping uThermal had more drops out on the map and just pulls the trigger a bit too early. We might see an anticlimactic finish. Bly, of course, used to having the gigantic army, but he's transitioning into Ling Bane. Now, the one advantage of that is uThermal now goes, you threw your army away, I can come kill you now. What he doesn't realize is Bly is just massing Roach Ravager Bane. Okay, run away, Bly. Why are you fighting out here? Stop. No, go home. You need more units. But the thing is, Roach Ravager Ling Bane, this is one of the best mid-game creep, ground-pounding, just destructive armies. It's got no flexibility. It can't fight air units. But against this sort of fast push, it's still got a decent shot. He's just got to be really patient. I love the giving up of the 4th base there. Good call by Bly. He's just got to wait for another round of units and Bane speed.
He needs these Banelings like humans need oxygen. Like, this is his only chance is to get a good baneling hit and have the roaches and the lings left over, clean up the tanks and fight back the bio.
I think uThermy should go home. I actually don't think he should keep pushing forwards here. He's getting flanked right now. Roach is going to look for those tanks on the backside, but this ramp is so deadly on the left-hand side. I think just cutting off the reinforcements is the right call. Oh god, he's trying to force his way up the ramp. A little bit overeager there from uThermal, potentially. More roaches building, so few lings and banes on the way. It's still a 70 drone economy. New fourth base being built in the north. uThermal wants to rally across. As his okay, this reinforce is big. The roach is no longer enough to overwhelm, but gets a tank.
Yeah, he gets the tank, which is nice, but these roaches are going to get sandwiched between some bio here. Loses
worth
a couple
it.
more there on the retreat there.
Buys time.
2-2 is about to be done, and I think when 2-2 is done, uThermal's going to consolidate his forces and try and push back again as he floats out that fourth base.
I don't think he can force his way through, though. I think uThermal's got the good eco now. I think keep building SCVs and go to the next step. You know, the problem here is the creep spread through the middle is still quite large and in charge. We've got 5 queens out for Bly. The problem for Bly is he's not respreading right now. And I feel like this is this point where Bly gets a little bit caught up in just trying to take the perfect engagement. And if you don't give him that opportunity, like, he's going to be a bit slower on respreading the creep on this bottom path. You know, yeah, he's got good creep out there right now, but he's looking for burrowed baneling mines, I think, in the near future. He's looking for another big attack, actually. Bly, oh, there's a double drop on the north. He's got a squad of roaches and ravagers ready for it. His ravager Bane.
This attack was pretty deadly here. Only 2 tanks and they get picked off. Reinforcements on the south from uThermal look nice, but that's a lot of banelings here. Tim to the north side actually getting covered by the defensive line of Bly as well. He has enough to defend and attack here, I feel.
Yeah, and you know what? He's bought enough time for burrow. Queens are coming back forward. He needs to keep them alive. At least one queen does stay alive. She's going to be able to respread these creep tumors, which is so important. I'm talking about that creep, right? This is the strength of Bly. He's such an engagement master. He wants to force you overcommitted to an attack, crush that attack. And the creep spread is what allows him to have the vision and allows him to have the movement speed buff to make it work. But, oh, don't go through there, Bly. No! There's a Terran army there!
Yeah, and I was about to say there's a lot of Marauders as well as 2-2 upgrades.
Oh my god!
He's dropping the bios! Oh my god, but there's so much bio left over!
Only uThermal. Only uThermal would push through that choke point into Ravager Bane and make it work. I love it. He's such a psychopath. I'm always on the edge of my seat because I never know. Like, any other Terran would go around. uThermal's like, nah, I've got enough firepower. Runs in, guns down all 20 Banes before they connect. And the Roach Ravager Bane, I mean, it's this composition. The Banelings do kind of get stuck behind the Ravagers sometimes.
Yeah, they certainly do. Bly going for that big open space, but there's the concave of bio units here and a tank on the right side assisting as well. The Lings getting on top of the tanks, which is
Banes,
nice
Banes coming in. More Banes coming in, but that's a heavy Marauder count, man. That's a heavy Marauder count. That tank on the right adding out some good damage. Both armies kind of clearing each other. A cleansing effect for both armies in the middle of the map. And, I mean, creep has been pushed back for the most part. Greater Spire is going to be starting real soon, though, and he's still got 66 drones. I've seen Bly win with 32 drone Broodlord before. When he's got, like, a full 3-base economy, I'm still scared shitless for my Terran boy uThermal.
He's going to go for a drop here, but Bly is ready. Those Lings come back home. They're going to overwhelm and force back those Marauders and those Marines. Marines are actually very important here for uThermal because he was so Marauder heavy. Those Lings are going to just overwhelm you. So the Marines need to be there to cut through that Ling count. Now, the upgrade situation for Bly is still not amazing. He's got +2 armor. He's heading towards +2 attack. But uThermal's starting 3-3, and this is another one of situations where Bly is very tier 2 focused. I think he's down a lot of army supply, and he doesn't have Hive.
He can't.
Not in the wings.
No, he's actually got the Hive, but I think he's realizing he's too low on supply to start the Greater Spire. Because he could make like 8 Broodlords right now, and uThermal would just drop him to death, right? He'd just have too many Marines. Like, he's making 8 Corruptors. He hasn't started the Greater Spire. He's going to use those to start dealing with the Medivacs. Greater Spire starts up, but for now, he just needs more Zergling, Baneling on the ground. He's got to respread creep, get a little bit more map control, or he'll lose the base trade. I mean, Broodlords, at that point, you shift gears. You say, guess what? Your tanks have been the more immobile or the less mobile army all game. Suddenly, I'm going to be the less mobile one. I need to have extra Ling, Bane, creep, Queens, these sort of things to cover against your drop backstabs.
Now, uThermal's moving through the middle of the map here with a very monstrous army. Bly's just started his Greater Spire. I think he might have thought that that was already done, with those Corruptors not being too useful here at all. There's one Ling over here that kills all the SCVs trying to repair a planetary. There's 5 of them there, but that doesn't really matter. The big deal here in this game is, can Bly stop uThermal from pushing into his creep and killing him with his big bio force?
You know what? There's no tanks here or anything with that many Ravagers, Zerglings, and Banelings. There's no way uThermal can force this fight. I don't think uThermal should even be pushing in right now. That's too much Sling Bane. Even with the upgrades, they're actually equal in upgrades right now, but where's the Banelings at? Where's the rest of this Sling Bane? I mean, maybe it is just enough pure bio with a single tank and Liberator? Oh my god.
I mean, if he doesn't have Banelings, this isn't that scary.
It's 18 Marauders. There's so much meat in this bio army. There's so many medevacs. They're spread out like crazy, even on creep. That 4th base gets ravaged. Broodlords are morphing, but yeah, I mean, uThermal's... I guess he's found the not-so-special source to solve the complicated problem that is blind. It's just having a ridiculous amount of Marine Marauder on the ground.
I am. It's the secret to sex.
It is the secret to sex, especially when you thrust this bio into multiple locations at once. We saw the 4th go down. Now the 3rd goes down. And it seems like the secret to success is here right now for uThermal.
The Broods are out, and yes, the Broods are hard for uThermal to engage. He doesn't have that many Marines, but what's happened here is that Bly's been knocked down at 3 bases, and uThermal has 5, with a 6th and 7th CC at the front of that 4th base as well in the low ground. The economy of the Terran is absolutely, I think the technical term is ginormogantuan. And, and the Zerg just has a low econ, high-tech army that uThermal is going to be ready for soon as he drops those 4 starports.
Look at this cheeky tuber up here. He's like, uThermal's like, I got the head of it, right? Right? He's like, are you friggin' serious? There's still a goddamn active head up here. This thing is just giggling to it. Meep, 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 meep. That's the sound of...
You'll have to scan to kill me.
uThermal's just like, oh my god, this is so stupid. He's going to scan and finally clear it up there. Takes the head off the creep eventually. Broodlord, Ravager, Corruptor up here in the north. So now we see a Bly fantasy impersonation. And this is the point where I think we get full permission from Twitch chat to talk about burgers, pineapples, and all sorts of other random things. Because
I mean, uThermal is making 6 Vikings at once right now. And Bly is making Infestors, which, you know, they have utility, but they aren't what they used to be, safe to say.
Very important question. Beetroot on a burger. Yeah, this is a staple. Google Australian burger beetroot. You'll get some pictures. Just a slice of beetroot on the burger.
In Poland as well. At the Novotel burger has beet on it, I think.
Oh, really? Wow,
yeah,
cool. So. It's very very creative of them. These 2 queens trying to defend Mass Viking.
So we're also seeing how good Broodlords are at dealing with multiple drops.
Infestors with no energy popping out, of course. No pathogen glands as well. The Broodlords, I think, are all dead. Are they? No. 6 Broods survived.
Yeah,
the Vikings stopped chasing.
They're slow.
Yeah.
Very nicely done. uThermal gets the 2-1 victory after losing game 1 to the Roach Rush of Bly. Kind of pulls his socks up and plays some pretty solid TVZ for game 2 and 3. Game 2 was a really sick comeback from uThermal after that big attack. Thank you very much, Disc, by the way, for the raid. Pleasure casting your game, sir. Very nice play, especially that game on Eternal Empire against Vindicta. That was good shit. Thank you very much for the raid, mate.
Thank you, everybody, for supporting the streams, guys. We really do appreciate it. And obviously, we're not doing shout-outs or big alert sounds during the games or anything like that. But big thanks, NC Saint, and of course, Black Label, who gifted 10 subs at the start of that game.